of doing like a little program about quick mixes that you can do, like to make your own, you know, taco seasoning and onion soup mix and ranch dressing mix and all of that. So that's kind of what's in store for November. I'm still letting people in, so bear with me. And so that's kind of what's coming up in November, are those quick mixes, and we'll have different ones maybe that you can pick and choose which one you'd like to make. They're pretty easy. Hi, Wendy. So yes, so thanks everyone for joining us. And so just a reminder of what we're doing tonight is very simple little craft for October and November, and you should have had all of the parts that you need except for just a few in your packet. So let's just talk a little bit about what you should have had in your packet. First of all, an 8x10 canvas. It's one of those, it's an artist canvas, but it's thin, so it should go in a frame pretty easily. You might not want to put the glass if you have a frame with glass in it, but this will go in a frame. And then of course the pumpkin should have been in your kit. And this is wood, so an option. I'm not going to stain mine or paint mine, but if you would want to, you can certainly paint it before you put your words on. That's an option. Or you could just leave it wood. That's totally up to you and your preferences. Then of course the word cut out in adhesive vinyl, as well as a strip of contact paper. This contact paper is how we're going to transfer those words onto your pumpkin. And I will go over all those steps as well. And the optional things, of course, is a frame. So I found this frame. I got this frame at Michael's. It was 10 bucks with my coupon. You know, I had a 20% off coupon. So I got this for 10 bucks. And it's kind of just an 8x10 frame if you want to frame it, but you certainly don't even have to frame it if you don't want to. And then another additional item that you may want to include is that ribbon or that twine at the top of the pumpkin. I mean, I just have a roll of literally twine that you could use, but I also found a cute little ribbon that I'm gonna put on mine. So whatever you want to do, how you want to do that. So let's go ahead and get started with talking about the steps you need to do this project. And I'm going to just switch my view so you can see what I'm doing on the table. So just bear with me while I move everything. Get a nice. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you can see my work surface now. And the first step in doing this project is to transfer those words onto your pumpkin. And what you want to do is lay your words down, and it should be on a pretty solid surface. And then take your contact paper and peel that strip off your contact paper on the back so that it's sticky. Oh, and also if anybody has any questions while we're going along, please unmute yourself and speak up. So take off your contact paper so that it's sticky, and then take that sticky side right on to your words. And my ghost friend is also reminding me that you can chat your questions too. So you're just going to want to put it right over, make sure that it's all covered, all your words are covered. Now, if you I happen to have a tool that I'm going to kind of scrape over, but you don't have to have this tool. like literally, if you want to grab a piece of silverware out of your drawer, you can just something to smooth it down like this. You want to get it really stuck onto that contact paper, because what we're going to do is peel that contact paper off and peel the words with it. So just keep getting it really, all of the edges and everything on there. And then once you think you have it, you can always just test it. Like just kind of, hi kitty. See, and that's not ready yet. All right, so now you can see if the words are coming up with my contact paper. That's what we want, the words to come up. And if you get to a spot that isn't quite sticking, just go back down and get it. Some of those little lines like in that T are hard to make sure they get. Just keep peeling carefully, and eventually you'll have your words on the contact paper, right? Okay. And then we're going to basically repeat that process, but we're going to put it on our pumpkin. So this is where it gets challenging for me, because I always want everything to be perfectly lined up and everything. So if you really want to be a perfectionist about it, you could, figure out exactly where halfway is and make sure there's a light line and line it all up. Or you could just eyeball it like I'm going to do. And then hopefully, okay, we got a late person coming in, but that's okay. So once you get your words onto your contact paper, repeat that process by laying it carefully onto your pumpkin. As centered and straight as you can, unless, like I said, you're really a perfectionist and you want to use a ruler and all that, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. And once you get it laid out exactly where you want it, then you repeat that process with whatever tool you're using to just scrape, really press it into the wood, because as you may have figured out, eventually we're going to peel the contact paper off, leaving the words on your piece of wood, okay? So we're kind of doing that same process. Okay, so don't feel bad if you joined us late. We're recording this Zoom session and then we'll post it onto our Facebook page. We had a little bit of difficulty technology-wise of live streaming it to the Facebook. Just was not cooperating with us tonight. So we're recording it right now, and then we'll post it out there on Facebook. So if you're not able to do it while we're doing it right here live, you'll be able to look at that video and do it at a later date. Okay. And because I'm talking and I can't seem to talk and work at the same time, I'm probably behind all of you guys, but we'll just keep going. And if you get your contact paper peeled off, let's see how it looks. Okay, I think I might have done it. When you get yours all on the pumpkin, hold it up so I can see how you're doing there. I'd love to see it. Oh, good job, Stephanie. That looks great. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can peel my contact paper off without messing it all up. Because I will say, because I wanted to get as many craft kits out to you all, I only saved this one for me. So I have not actually ever made this before. So I'm like, ooh, hopefully it goes okay. But you know what? It's not rocket science, so I think we're gonna be okay. All right, so yes, just carefully, carefully peel off your contact paper, leaving the words on your pumpkin. And eventually, there you go. So if you've ever seen those fancy signs at the craft shows that have these wonderful words all over the wood signs and everything, this is how they do it. Literally, this is how they do it. Yay, Jenny. Oh, good. Wendy, good job. Love it. And it's all straight. I'm impressed. Okay, so once you have your words on your pumpkin, then the second step, obviously, is to take your canvas and position it where you want it and literally hot glue that pumpkin onto your canvas. So you just kind of figure out, again, you could figure out exactly where the center is and or measure from the sides and be really, really perfectionist about it, but I usually pretty much just eyeball it. So what I would recommend is taking your hot glue, either right, and that might be even better, just put it right in the middle of your canvas. I can get my, I was smart and tested my glue gun before this. Okay, just get a good amount on there to hold your pumpkin. And just glue your pumpkin right down in the middle of your canvas. I think that looks. The good thing is you might be able to move it a little bit, but okay. Now, unless you have a ribbon or a piece of twine already that you got, you're actually could be done right here. But if you'd like to take a ribbon, this is the ribbon that I found. I think I'm just gonna hot glue that right onto my stem, the base of my stem, like that. You could do something like that. It doesn't have to be that big of a ribbon, and I am absolutely terrible at tying bows. So all I did was tie a knot in that ribbon and then just fanned out the ends, and it, you know, I think it looks like a cute little bow. You could do twine, like I said. I did tie a bow with this twine if you wanted to do that instead. You could even, I was thinking, you could even get some of like artificial vine and put that on there. You could do anything that you want to, or you could just leave it blank if you wanted to. But eventually you might want to add something if you don't have something on hand. Did anyone have anything that they're adding right now? I'd love to see it if you have. So third step is to glue that ribbon or vine or twine, whatever, onto that stem. And the final step, of course, is to take that frame. And like I said, this frame I got at Michael's for 10 bucks. I think it was $9.98 actually, with my 20% off coupon, which I don't ever go to Michael's without using a coupon. And we'll just take that back off and these insides. And because it's kind of like this three-dimensional, I'm not going to obviously use the mat or that paper. And I don't even think I'm going to use the glass because I don't want that ribbon to be smashed. So I think I'm just going to put it in to my frame without using the glass. So I'll put it in the frame, put the back on. And then it looks like that. see if I can get a good view of that. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. Thanks. Kind of wish I would have put it a little lower, but oh well, that's what happens when you eyeball it, right? So I kind of like this without the glass because, like I said, it kind of gives it this three-dimensional. This is actually wired ribbon, so it'll stick out if I want it to, but kind of looks like a cute little three-dimensional thing. This particular frame I can hang or just, you know, sit up on a table or my fireplace mantle or wherever you want to put it. So that is our project. Does anybody have any other ideas that you can do with this? I was thinking that, like I said, somebody could choose to paint that pumpkin or stain it a little bit. Maybe not too dark because the words are in black, but yeah, does anybody have a finished project that they'd like to share tonight, that you got it all done? I would love to see it on your camera, or if you're going to do this at a later time, please, please take a picture of your finished product and post it in the Facebook event or on the recording that I'm going to post later. Okay, let me see if I can get that switched. Okay, great. Technology is very challenging sometimes. Okay, if you have your finished project, I would love to see it. And please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions or make comments or do anything like that. We're pretty casual around here, so let me know what you think.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do the bow. Like it is hard to tie it.
That's exactly why I just tied a little knot, because I am so bad at tying a bow, but yes. And one thing that I learned trying to tie bow, are you using like a little silk ribbon?
Well, I have one of those, but I had some other ones too. I was trying to decide because I do have some like twine stuff. Maybe that would stick together better.
Uh-huh. Sometimes I think if you, with a ribbon, if you tie just an overhand knot first and then do a bow, sometimes that's, I don't know if maybe you're doing that, but I sometimes think that's a little bit easier. But yeah, bows are hard. I haven't quite mastered that one yet.
Try again.
Yeah. Stephanie, are you like in your craft room?
Yes, I'm in my basement, which is my craft room. So yeah, I'm digging through my stash trying to find stuff.
I can see you going and like digging in things, and I'm like, wow, have all of that.
Yeah, I like to sew, so I have a variety of stuff, and now I'm like, where is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes, so I would love to see whatever finished project you come up with. So Sue is asking if there are other words available online or at any local stores. And that's a really good question, but ooh, yeah, that's a really good idea too, Sue, about the covering it with the fabric and then attaching your pumpkin. That's a great idea. See, I basically, when I do these craft nights, I give you the basic thing, and then you guys are so creative that you guys come up with your own ideas, and I love that. So in other words, I actually have a daughter-in-law who owns a Silhouette Cameo. It's like a Cricut, but it's a different brand. It's a Cameo. And she is so gracious that she cuts these words out for me for these projects. Now, you may be able to find someone that will sell those to you on Etsy as well. You just need to let them know the size. Like if you're putting it on something like this, you'll want to give them the dimension of whatever you're putting it on, or your board or sign or whatever, and they may be able to sell those to you on Etsy. But in the future, when we get the library expansion done and we will have a maker space in the library, we will have a Cameo Silhouette machine. that once a patron comes through and gets some training on how to use it, that will be available for patrons to come and use. Yes, I'm so excited. We are, I mean, we would use it all the time for things like this as well. And I think patrons would love to have it. You would just need to bring in the raw material, like the vinyl that you can buy at Michael's. But that Cameo can cut paper. So if you're, like, we're thinking about bulletin boards and things here, we would be able to cut letters out on that. You have this vinyl adhesive. They have, it would cut iron-on adhesive so that you could do iron-on t-shirts and things like that. So lots of things to do with that Cameo silhouette once we get it, once we're in our newly expanded space. We're excited about that. So yes, good questions and good ideas and suggestions on other ways to do this.
So since I'm in my car, and I was thinking maybe I should go look for some leaves. And like, I don't know, maybe I could put some leaves on it, or I could do leaf prints. I don't know, I'm just thinking, but that might be fun.
No, I think that's a great idea, Kimberly. I was thinking when you said that, if you could find just maybe some smaller leaves too, if you're thinking about in this area, or even bigger leaves that you could do on a background and then put the pumpkin on it as well, that would look pretty too. And there's, Google it, but there's a way to take like fall leaves, and I think it's somehow you iron them with wax paper or something to kind of preserve them. But Google that so you know they don't like dry and then eventually crumble all over the place.
We used to do wax paper and crayons. And
and maybe you were thinking more artificial leaves, but I think you could do it with real leaves too, as long as you did that, some sort of preserving of the leaf. But great idea. See,
that's a very good point.
You guys are also creative. I knew you guys would come up with wonderful ideas. So I don't even know if this is backwards to you. It's backwards to me, but I don't know if it's backwards to you. Okay. I never know if I'm in selfie mode or not selfie. I can never figure it out. Okay, so anybody else have any questions or suggestions for everyone else? I bet Raina has some really good ideas for you, Jen.
What's your idea, Raina?
Of what?
For that. I think it's crazy how simple that is, but it is so cute.
Yes, I love simple. Oh, Wendy, that looks beautiful.
Oh, look.
See, you get a bow.
I added some of the leftover ribbon. I just put that. If I get more, maybe I could put more, but I didn't have any more right here. So
Yeah, that's cute. Oh, and Stephanie put some ribbon on hers at the bottom too. That's cute.
I actually used washi tape. I had like leaf washi tape.
thinking about
Yes, I love washi tape. That's a great idea. Perfect. Yes. And like I said, I mean, you really do not even have to frame it if you don't want to. It could just be, you know, lean up against something or whatever. But you know, I couldn't pass up that frame for $10 at Michael's. So anyway. Great. Great. So the next craft night that we'll be doing will be actually in December. I always do them on the first Thursday of that month that we're having them. So it would have been smart of me to actually get the date looked up before I started this, but I don't know what the date is. Maybe the ghost of craft night can look that up and put it in the chat for me, but it will be the first Thursday in December. And I actually don't have it all planned out, but we're thinking of collaborating with the youth librarian and doing sort of a parent-child craft that we can do together. But certainly, if you don't have a child, or whatever. You could do it on your own as well, but that's kind of what we were thinking of, doing a collaboration for that month. So details will come out later, of course. So just a reminder, no craft night for November, but we are going to do that little program. It may just be me doing a recording and then posting it out there. And then you all can pick up maybe some recipe sheets and maybe one jar for one of the spices that we'll be making. Haven't gotten all the details worked out yet, but it's, I don't ever buy the packet of taco seasoning anymore. I just always make my taco seasoning. It's really easy and cheap to do it that way. And then it doesn't have any of the unpronounceable ingredients in it either. So, but yeah, we'll have some ideas for you there. And so look for that in November. Anybody else have any questions or anything before we take off? I don't want to keep you. I know everyone is busy this time of year, so doesn't look like there's any other questions in the chat. So I think if I can close my chat. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for signing in and picking up your craft kit. And like I said, if you didn't make one, or even if you did make one tonight and it's finished, take a picture of it and post it on our Facebook page. I'm going to post this video out there and you can just put it in the comments. That would be fabulous. Show everyone what creations you've made. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us. I hope you have a good night.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.